As you notice from the song right now, folks, this is a special Thanksgiving edition of our show tonight. I'm Jordan Kurtz. You can give me a follow along online at Comments from the Peanut Gallery. Give my co-host here, the Big Yins, Josh Fram, UFC middleweight, a follow at Josh Fram MMA. If you're watching along online, make sure that you smash that subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications so you do not miss a drop. Now, we're going to go through a list here, ladies and gentlemen, of just a few things out here in the game in combat sports and MMA that we're thankful for. So starting right off the top of the list here, I want to say I'm thankful for Art Davie and the Gracies for having the balls to go out there and put on an event here in Denver nearly 30 years ago under a banner called the Ultimate Fighting Championship that then became synonymous with mixed martial arts, then called No Holds Barred. 29 years and 2 weeks later, Josh, here we are.
Here we are. And I think that that's a huge thing. I'm very thankful for that because it obviously gave me a path of things that I want to do in life and a goal to reach after, other sports were done. So, Artie, thank you. Can I call you Artie? You don't really care. But the next thing that I'm super thankful for, and I think that most men would agree with me on this, Diamond Cups. Thank you so much for protecting my jewels because the teammates that I have seem to think it's funny to kick me in that area. So thank you, Diamond Cup, for all you do.
And I'm not just thankful for Diamond Cups, Josh. I'm thankful for the Diamond Jockstrap, to be honest.
The jockstrap itself is very nice.
I've never had a better one because it holds it right in place.
Yeah.
Like it's not like shorts, folks. Like it's a multi-strap system that keeps it right where it needs to be.
It's a multi-tiered level strap system that holds.
that little area on the underneath of the goods that sometimes in the girdle style shorts that lifts up and you leave vulnerable does not happen with the diamond strap. So I'm very thankful for that just the same. Now, I also think that it's worthwhile to be thankful for all of our coaches and training partners out there.
Yes,
who help us get better every day.
They are the conduit to which we are able to get better at said sport, said lifestyle. I think that the martial arts lifestyle is a very genuine one, and it's one that you don't pursue unless you have the want to just better yourself completely overall. And I thank you to my coaches, my teammates, past, present, future, that have helped me and us take this path in life.
I think we're both, and along with most people out there who follow along, we got to say we're thankful for Megan O'Leary's suits.
Very stylish suits. Very stylish.
Sets the standard out there.
Sets the standard and does it professionally. Very good.
And she laid the groundwork. I mean, everybody's also going to say out there, you have your personalities and people out there like Laura Sanko and whatnot, Karen Bryant, everybody. But I think really and truly the trailblazer was Megan O'Leary.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that she was the one that paved the way, if you will.
Definitely.
You know what else I'm very thankful for? Jordan, I'm a very handsome guy, I'm not going to lie. And there's only one way that I can stay this handsome when I'm getting punched in the face every single day. Vaseline.
Interesting that you chose Vaseline after talking about Megan O'Leary.
It's an interesting point now that you bring it up. Maybe that was on purpose, maybe it wasn't. But Vaseline, thank you for keeping people from being able to cut my face when punching me.
Certainly. Also very thankful and we missed the opportunity last week post-fight, but Derek Lewis interviews. You can't beat him.
Just Derek Lewis in general. Derek Lewis's interviews, Derek Lewis's Instagram posts, his stories. Hey, he's okay.
Definitely. I agree.
Thank you for being such a great character and human in this sport. Very awesome.
Definitely. Also, got to say, I think we're all thankful for the Just Bleed guy.
I mean, I think that the Just Bleed guy is just a cultural statement to...
He's been immortalized.
He's been immortalized. He is just, someone who the average fan definitely knows. He's like Florida Man for MMA.
Didn't think of it that way, but it is right up there in that ballpark.
You know what? I think that another thing that we should be thankful for here is UFC fighters nowadays are starting to join gangs. All right, that's a bad word. Not friendships, if you will. Teaming up outside of the gym, doing cool things. For one instance, Jamal Hill and Kevin Holland. Funny dudes. Hazmat and Darren Till.
Jamal Hill just announced with Anthony Smith.
Hey,
Crazy.
Breaking news. Jamal Hill to fight Anthony Smith.
But yeah, moving on.
But yeah, I mean, I just think that as a whole in the UFC, fighters are growing and learning how to market their brand outside of fighting. And by teaming up with other people who are similar to them, who are funny, who like certain things, they're able to build their brand, and it's just an evolvement of the sport.
Speaking of a guy who just had so much evolution throughout his career, but I'm thankful for GSP's accent. Are you intoxicated?
I am not impressed by your performance.
It's just, I mean, it's so classic. So many different one-liners. Like that one that you said there, that was like an MMA fan. Like, just, that was one of the big moments when I was a kid watching MMA. There was just so much of like yes, this is why I love this.
Yeah, I mean,
Back in
he
the
was
day
so
with Matt
polite,
Hughes.
like a typical Canadian.
And you
just
could tell that
super
he
polite.
didn't want to get in the mic and get in the cage and talk smack that way. But that was the best thing that George and his respectful demeanor could be able to formulate against Matt Hughes. And then Matt Hughes was like, well, that's your opinion.
That's your opinion. I'm just super thankful for George St. Pierre as a whole, because without George St. Pierre, without Matt Hughes, without that trilogy, and me seeing that trilogy as a kid, I probably would have never gotten to fighting.
I mean, Matt Hughes was one of my major influences in becoming a fan, because I wrestled back in the day.
Yeah.
And, you know, when they used to
he
do
was
those
that dude.
promos of him out there on the farm and eating those big country breakfasts, coming out to Country Boy Can Survive and just going out there and wrecking people. And then to see the dog that he had in him, especially fighting against guys like Frank Trigg, where Frank Trigg kicks him in the nuts, referee doesn't call the stoppage, starts to choke him. Matt Hughes' face is as purple as a grape, gets out of the choke, picks up Frank Trigg, and it's still
runs.
one of the only highlights of that era that still plays on UFC highlight
Still
reels
plays.
on the opening of the show, which Frank Trigg mentioned when we had him here on the show. But he's like, thanks to the UFC, like I'm immortalized, like I'm on the wrong side of that, but I'm the only guy from that era that's still on a highlight reel that the UFC opens up with. But in lieu of that, talking about being thankful for Matt Hughes, I'm thankful for the Diaz brothers. My all-time favorite fighter, Nick Diaz, and then I'm a big Nate fan, but just that style, just the raw, rough, rugged, like the what? Like, I'm in your face, yeah, I'm talking to you, I'm slapping you up, I'm giving you the finger, what are you going to do about it? And I'm going to be here if you don't put me away type of style.
Yeah.
It was just very, I mean, it was so different from what a lot of other people had out there. And I loved Robbie Lawler back in the day. But then when Nick was able to come in and he's just sitting there like doing, you know, I mean, we can't say it.
What did he
over
say?
the air.
Did
You
Curtsy,
know,
what did he-
Danny will get real mad at us, and we'll have to start bleeping left and right here if we start giving the direct quotes from Nick Diaz at that point. But he starts telling him, what, B-word, what? And Steve Mazzagatti to the point of telling Nick, no talking, Nick, which is not a rule, by the way.
Not a rule. You can't say that.
And then Nick Diaz knocked out Robbie Lawler. So it was just such an incredible moment for me as a fan.
You know who else I'm thankful for? The guy who inspired me to put the red streak of doom in my hair going to high school. Jason Mayhem Miller. You
got beat
are
up
an
by the Diaz brothers.
Shut up. Shut your mouth. You watch what you're saying. Jason Mayhem Miller is an absolute staple and icon in MMA growing up. I mean, the concept of bully beatdown, even though I knew of him before that, absolutely amazing. We should bring that back. 100%.
I totally agree.
All these snowflakes get dumped on their head. That's what I would love to see. Imagine Harris Talunzik picking up some blue-haired snowflake, dumping him on his head because he was bullied. Guys, I need TV rights now. Let's do it. Let's do our own version.
Where's
right?
the
Let's
deal at networks? We need this. We need this
Let's
back.
just start doing our own.
Be comfortable with violence again, networks.
That's
Come
what
on.
we should do. So, yeah, I'm thankful for Mayhem. Thank you for introducing me to this world.
I also want to say that I'm thankful for the option to be able to have the streaming services out there to watch fights worldwide from all across the world. I mean, as the aficionado, if you will, that I am.
Is that
I
the only
watch-
streaming site you do?
UFC Fight Pass, Fight.tv, DAZN, and any there's so many different options out there for you to watch fights from literally all around the world, like we say. So it's great that we are in the digital era to where we're not restricted. Like back in the day,
You only have magazines. You're not restricted anymore.
this guy. But I also want to say, I'm thankful, and I'm sure you are too as well, for educated and experienced nutritionists and weight cut specialists out there who don't make you have to kill yourself in the process getting to the scale.
Yeah.
Some cuts are always going to be tougher than others, but those that are educated with the right nutrient profiles and with the right methodology to get you to the weight and to keep you comfortable in the process, worth their weight in gold.
100%. Like you said in the beginning, 29 years ago, this thing started out here in Denver. And guess how old I am, Curtsy?
29.
I'm going to be 29
In January.
Watch your mouth.
It's less than 2
I'm
months
not
away.
there yet.
We're coming up on it. We're right on the edge. You might as well be right there.
Not there yet. But anyway,
he's going to go and say he's 28.9 years old, ladies and gentlemen.
Nah, son, I'm 25. But that's how young this sport is, if you will. Like, we have learned throughout these 29 years what is the right way to train, what is the right way to diet, what is the right way to do this through trial and error. And it's going to be amazing to see that the people in the generations after us, how they approach this and what are the benefits and how just much better it gets.
Definitely. I think we're both thankful for gear that doesn't rip or break in 2 weeks.
Oh, you found that?
I mean,
I'm kidding. There's some
that have been very poor quality.
But I've had recently a lot of different gear that has been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I used to buy stuff back in the day, had it for a week, boom, ripped. It stinks. It just holds on to that smell. So I'm very thankful for that, and that we're getting better gear as we progress.
I mean, I don't know how much you could do about the holding on to smell aspect. That's a personal problem, but there's definitely a lot
guy
more
out
effort
here
that has to go.
You know what I'm thankful for? The Twist His Dick guy. That dude is absolutely hilarious. Oh, is that a button push? Are we pushing buttons for that
I'm
one,
pretty
Danny?
sure that's
It's a holiday.
It's a holiday. Twist his dick. All right, yeah, I'm done.
But you can't go to any show, ladies and gentlemen, without hearing somebody in the crowd yell it.
It's just
You
hilarious.
can't. It's everywhere. That guy became immortalized again, just like the Just Bleed guy, and you Twist it. You just hear it all the time. But we want to give a thank you to Ryan Garcia for giving us the opportunity to do our thing on here each and every week.
I think after that one, we're probably not going to be here much longer.
Well, and of course, for those of you who are still with us, we want to give a special thank you to every single one of our listeners, followers, and supporters out there. And we can't go without having a strong thank you to our man behind the glass in Danny Bailey for holding it down for us every single week and making sure that we don't get too far off the tracks over here.
I'm thankful for you guys too. It's a lot of fun. This show's a lot of fun, and you guys always teach me something new about MMA, so I love it.
And I like that you get as red as I do.
I sure do.
But, it's levels here, though. Josh goes 0 to 100 with the red, like, immediately, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a
Just depending
problem.
on what the topic is. Stick around after the break, folks. We're going to close out the show by going 3 rounds. I'm Jordan Kurtz, sit here alongside UFC middleweight Josh Fremd. This is the MMA Plug presented to you by DenverSportsBetting.com on 98.1 FM, Mile High Sports Radio.
Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. That helps us continue to produce this original MMA content and bring it for you every single week. Tune in to the MMA Plug presented by DenverSportsBetting.com on 98.1 FM, Mile High Sports Radio on Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m.
or live stream at denversportsbetting.com/radio.